Hey there, friends. Welcome back to the Yore Town podcast. Inside jokes, they're fun on a podcast. The person behind the camera that you don't see giggling is the one, the only Dun Queen, Meg. What's up, girl?
Hey.
How's your new phone?
It's not on me right now.
Yeah, it's okay.
Still trying to figure it all out.
What are you, Canadian today? It's at the time of the recording, it's July 4th, not Canada Day, but happy belated July 4th to America, USA, USA. Happy belated Canada Day to all the Canadians out there. Oh, Canada, we love Maple Leafs. But either way, obviously this is Yore Town podcast. The voice you're hearing, it's me, it's Matt, it's Beard Laws, and we have a tough case. This is one that isn't easy, but a lot of them are not overly easy because doing true crime, it's not a very pleasurable, enjoyable topic, but hopefully we put our take on it and you enjoy the research and the conversation that we had. And, this one does tie into America, 1776. What's the first city that comes to your mind, Meg? 1776.
Chicago.
Philadelphia. And we're not going back to 1776. But this is, like I said, we're going to talk, and viewer and listener discretion is advised in our podcast to be professional and everything like that. Because we're going to head 1857 to a lonely, wooded area just outside of Philadelphia. Because this is the story of a little boy found in a cardboard box. No name, no family, no missing persons report for more than 6 decades, Meg. He was known only as America's unknown child. Thankfully, in late 2022, something incredible happened. A name, a history, tragic truth, finally brought into the light. Because this is the story of the boy in a box and how the past never stays buried forever. Have you heard about this?
I have not, but I hope they gave him a name.
He does have a name. Spoiler alert! Yeah, this, again, any of the ones with kids is a little extra tough as a parent, and just extra tough because things happen and these kids just never get a chance, and it's terrible, and unfortunately there are some terrible people out there. So, I don't know. Want to just get right into this and skip the intro? Keep it moving?
Yeah.
All right. I figure let's start with the discovery. Let's go way back. February 25th, 1957. Do you think it was a leap year, Meg?
No.
No? Well, a college student is walking through the woods off of, I should have tried to practice this road, Susquehanna Road in the Fox Chase neighborhood of Philadelphia. He's looking for rabbits, checking his traps. You ever do some rabbit hunting?
Nope.
Me neither. Instead, unfortunately, he finds something far worse. Cardboard box, an old bassinet box from a department store, partially hidden in the brush. And inside that box is the small body of a young boy. He's wrapped in a blanket, bruised, malnourished. His hair had been recently and crudely shaved. His fingernails, they're dirty. And his eyes closed forever. The student doesn't call the police. Not right away. He's scared. It actually takes 2 days for another man to report it. When police arrive, what they find is heartbreaking and puzzling. Isn't that even more sad? 2 days. Obviously we know a lot more now in 2025, but the first 24 hours is crucial. That's assuming that it was even around that time when they make the discovery. But I guess to think it out, not logically, but to think it out, I mean, a college student's checking for rabbits, next thing you know, finds this. 57. You know what I mean? They don't have the forensic stuff. What if he's the one that's accused of doing this somehow? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Not like you can just pull out a phone and call.
Yeah. It's a different time. And it's tough to say because we're not in that place. We're not in that mindset. We're not in the discovery. But the boy, he appeared to be between 4 and 6 years old, weighed around 30 pounds, severely underweight. The body showed signs of both past and recent abuse. He has a scar on his ankle, a scar under his chin, and a surgical scar in the groin area. It's obvious this child didn't pass away from natural causes. And yet, despite the condition of his body, Meg, there's nobody looking for him. Philadelphia police, they launch what becomes the most extensive investigation the city had ever seen. They take fingerprints, they photograph him, they even dress the boy's body, and then photograph him again, hoping that a more lifelike image might, maybe spark some recognition. Thousands of flyers are sent across the country. His image is placed on gas bills and distributed, distributed. I said that right?
Mm-hmm.
Distributed. That's the word I was looking for.
That's how you said it the first time.
Through the mail. The mail, kids. Letters. Just like Blue's Clues. No? Moving on. The autopsy report is made public, which is rare in his times because they wanted to help find out who this boy is. But unfortunately, Meg, nothing. Nobody comes forward. No family claims him. No credible matches to any missing children. It's as if this little boy just never existed. But here is where things get a little bit stranger. In the early weeks, detectives, they looked into every possibility. Was he abandoned by a poor family, kidnapped, sold? Maybe someone just dropped him off to avoid getting caught for abuse and neglect. Then they considered a theory involving a nearby foster home. It's just about 1.5 miles away from the site. Some people report seeing a child like the boy living there. And you're probably thinking, okay, maybe the foster, right? That makes sense, 1.5 miles. Foster family, they deny any connection. Police, they find no physical evidence linking the boy to the home. Still, that lead keeps nagging investigators for years. Which you have to imagine. I mean, paperwork trail, the paperwork, the trails, the foster care process probably wasn't overly great in 57, right?
No.
Would imagine. But then, the physics, it starts to show up, Meg. How are you at physics?
Not good.
Me neither. I didn't even try to take physics. I couldn't get through chemistry and basic science. Then I was like, hey, I'm going to go be a gym teacher. Did you know that to go be a gym teacher, you got to learn biology lab, anatomy, and all this other sciencey stuff? To play kickball and dodgeball? What's wrong with New York?
I think I could have been good at physics if I would have taken it, but I didn't.
You know what the best part is? I said physics, but it's psychics. I was just wondering how you were at physics. Because physics could have solved the case, but a psychic came forward, Meg. You know what? You guys can laugh at me all you want. This is, I blame the fixed vodka. If you guys need anything, you guys can see right behind me. Fixed vodka. Fixedvodka.com. Tell them Beardlaw sent you. You'll thank me later. Some clean, good stuff, isn't it, Meg?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty good. That's right. One well-known psychic, maybe doubled as a physicist, I don't know, in New Jersey contacts the police and gave a detailed description of the foster home before Meg was even ever made public. She claimed that the boy was kept there, abused, and eventually discarded. I hate that word when it comes to a human being. She even leads detectives to the property, and sure enough, it matched the vision. But again, there's no hard proof. The case goes cold, and the boy remains a mystery. What do you think about the psychic, Meg?
It's interesting.
You believe in her? I mean, it's tough for credibility when a psychic is kind of linking it to there, but if that psychic ends up being right... But I mean, how as an investigator can you really go off that? You know what I mean? Especially when they're taking fingerprints or doing the investigation, there's no hard proof. That's tough.
Yeah, I believe them. Believe it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Me too. I want to believe. Mm-hmm. Are you Scully or Mulder?
Scully.
All right, I'll be Mulder. I want to believe. 1998, this is when X-Files was still huge. Over 40 years later, the boy's body is exhumed from the grave, marked only by a small headstone that read, Heavenly Father, bless this unknown boy. Know what the goal was, Matt? Do you have any guesses?
Science, better technology.
Physics. 3-letter word, D to the N to the A, science. 98.
Yes.
They thought they finally caught up. They collect mitochondrial DNA passed down from the mother. I can say mitochondrial, but I can't say psychic or physics. Passed down from the mother, and they actually submit it to the national database. What do you think, Meg? Did we have a breakthrough?
I think so.
Think so?
Mm-hmm.
Got to remember, it's 98. DNA technology is still developing. Fortunately, once again, nothing came back. Still. This story, though, Meg, It refuses to fade. Thankfully. Fast forward 10 years, 2008.
Let's do it.
Yeah, 2008. Good years, bad years. Happy to be there.
Good years.
Yeah. Well, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children creates a facial reconstruction image hoping that the updated rendering will help identify him. Which that's tough. That's like 50 years later. You know what I mean? Trying to identify a boy.
Yeah.
Ugh. But the case stays in the news, often mentioned alongside other high-profile cold cases. It becomes kind of a symbol. The lost child of America. A permanent question mark. And nothing until 2022, the year of the twos, there's a breakthrough. Thanks to advancements in forensic genealogy, which we've seen in a lot of cases with genealogy. But if everybody just continues to use, 23andMe and Ancestry.com and spitting in those tubes, genealogy in these cases are going to continually be solved. And this was actually, Meg, the same technique used to catch the Golden State Killer. Investigators, they reopened the boy in the box case. This time, they partner with private DNA labs and genealogists to analyze the DNA and build out a family tree. It's a slow, painstaking job, and they're looking through public databases like GED Match and Family Tree DNA, trying to find distant relatives, great-grandparents, cousins, third cousins. Jesus, I sound like I'm from Governor. Connecting dots no one thought could even be connected. But eventually, they find him. I was going to ask you, like, out the gate, if you had any guesses on a boy's name.
Mm-mm.
Did you? No.
Charles.
Close. Joseph Augustus Zarelli, born January 13th, 1953.
I would have said Zarelli.
All right, let's go with Zarelli and what did I say?
Zariella?
I mean, that seems very Philadelphia.
I think it's Zarelli.
All right. Joseph Augustus. I like Augustus. Can we name a dog Augustus? Not we're getting another one, but like if one of ours perishes. Moving on. Born January 13th, 1953, just 4 years old when he passed away, a child from a well-known family in West Philadelphia. His birth certificate was located. His parents, they were identified. He even had siblings, though they were unaware that he even existed. After 65 years of silence, the boy in the box finally had a name. Now, here's where things get pretty tragic. Dig in. Hold on. Are you ready? Despite identifying him, authorities say they may never know how he ended up in that box. Why wasn't he reported that he was missing? Why didn't anyone come forward? Unfortunately, the answer may lie in the circumstances of his birth. Reports suggest he was born to an unwed couple in a time when that carried immense stigma. His birth may have been kept secret from much of the family. It's possible, though unconfirmed, that he was placed in unofficial care or passed kind of just between houses, you know?
Yep.
And somewhere along the way, Joseph just kind of disappeared. The parents, they were deceased. Out of respect for living relatives, their names were never released. But the fact remains that someone out there knows more, or if anything, knew more. There's a really good chance that whatever happened is buried in that box, you know? So why does this story matter today, Meg? Because Joseph was once every child, forgotten, alone, unnamed, but through the perseverance of detectives, scientists, physicists, and even everyday citizens contributing their DNA to public databases, he was brought back into the light. In his case, it sparked real changes. It helped inspire better systems for tracking missing children, better forensic procedures, and more humane ways to investigate unidentified remains. But more than anything, it shows that no one, absolutely no one, is truly forgotten. Not as long as someone keeps asking questions. But before we wrap this up, Meg, here's a little bit of a haunting thought. You ready for this? There's over 600 cold cases of unidentified children in the U.S. alone. Kids with no names, no graves, no justice, and old Joseph. This story, it gives us hope that with science and storytelling, maybe, just maybe, we can change that, right? Pretty daunting. But wow, how wild is that? And you have to imagine, 50s. Like I said, if you're unwed, you're having kids,
Right.
that's a big no-no. But just to kind of pass them around and just not have anything to do with them, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful that we've never had to be in that position. But a lot of cold cases, hopefully, they'll continually trickle down from over 600 to much less in the near future. Tough. Well, that's a wrap, as they say in the biz, and this has been fun hanging out with you on another day. Yeah. And the day this is released, it's the middle kid's 12th birthday. So if you're listening, happy birthday out there, kiddo. Which I guarantee you, you're not. But if you want to hear one of those kiddos, go check out our other show, Stay Out of My Fridge, where we do all sorts of crazy stuff. It's kind of fun. It's a dad's perspective, chatting with the kids. It's interesting. Mm-hmm. You're even going to get some free songs made up on the spot by some kids. But either way, we can't thank you enough for taking some time out of your busy day to listen to us. If you have a recommendation of a story, as always, please drop it in the comments. Shoot an email to metabeardlaws.com or something on the Instagram. Unless Meg's got a suggestion for next week.
Not yet.
Not yet? We'll think it over. Sounds good?
Okay.
All right. Let's go play with your new phone.
All right.
Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
You got nails to go do, too. We got things to do, and so do you. So we'll see you back here next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.